Hi there, it's Rissa. I am shooting the last recap video for Acts of Service from the Date Night Couples Thai Massage Workshop series in Portland, Oregon. For this class, we focused on the finer details of the feet, hands, and head, neck, and face. So we'll get started with the feet. Have your partner lie face up, and you can lie down on a yoga mat or on, this is just a mattress topper with a blanket on top. So sit aligned, your inner hip is in line with your partner's outer hip, the foot you want to work on, and bring their foot onto your lap. I like both of my legs to be straight, or you can take this outer leg into kind of a one-sided cross-legged position, sort of like a seated tree pose from yoga. I just want you to be able to see his foot here. So scoop underneath the heel with the inner hand, and that's closer to your partner's other leg. And the outer hand, we're going to start by circling around, doing some range of motion. So I push the ball of the foot up away from me, and then when I lean back, I curl the toes down. So I make a circle, and I'm not just using my hand, move your whole torso to help make this happen. So a few times in one direction, a few times in the other direction. Give a little push, just a gentle stretch here, and then grab on top. The elbow comes high, so when you push the elbow down, you can add some leverage to help flex the toes and point the foot and ankle. All right. Now we're going to invert the foot, so let's reach toward the inner aspect of the foot with the outer hand, grip at the ball of the foot, and then pull your elbow back to turn the foot in. Does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, second hand position, kind of at the upper arch, grip, and then pull, a little bit of a turn in the torso as well. Third hand position, close to the heel but still on the arch of the foot, grip and pull. Back to the second hand position, grip and pull, and then to the first, grip and pull. Switch hands, same sequence on the other side, grip toward the outer edge, the pinky toe side near the ball of the foot, grip and pull. Second position, third, second, and first. From here, I like to use both of my hands to thumb up the bottom of the foot 3 times, so 3 sets of lines, and use the power from your torso here to lean forward to help make this happen. Okay. You can find different points, different lines. If you find a really dense spot, then you can just squeeze and hang out there. So after 3 sets of lines, we're gonna drag up the outer edge of the foot. So elbow comes high, fingers point down. I'm gonna drag here. And I like to drag maybe just like an inch at a time, all the way up to the pinky toe. When you get to the pinky toe, with your index finger curled and your thumb, you're gonna pinch close to the foot, and then either coin rub or one long drag out to the edge of the toe, tip of the toe, pinch, and maybe snap. Sometimes the snap happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes your toe knuckles pop, sometimes they don't. You can really take your time with all of this. Moving up to the hand. Okay. We're going to start by just gently squeezing the hand. So palm down. With your 4 fingers, you're going to be feeling the thumb side and pinky side, the meaty part of the palm. So I like to kneel, but you can sit here if that's more comfortable. You can come up a little bit higher so long as you can reach the hand comfortably. We're just feeling around here, noticing if there's any tight spots. at least 3 times up and down the meaty part of the thumb and pinky side of the palm. Now we're going to stretch the top of the hand and forearm. And in order to do that, the hand that's closer to your partner's leg and torso, grab the wrist, lift up, outer hand threads in between the fingers, grips the top of the hand, and lean to pull back. Sometimes the shoulder comes down with it, so you can sit and bring the outer edge of your foot up to brace against your partner's armpit. That way their shoulder won't come down. Sometimes I'll bring the other hand to help stretch the thumb as well. Nice. So that's one way to stretch the top of the hand. Now, don't let go of the hand just yet. Just turn it palm up. And now we're going to thread the fingers in a little bit of a different way. Make sure your pinkies are stacked on top of each other and thread them through the index finger or the middle finger and ring finger. So I can really open his palm up here. Does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. And then I can use my thumbs to drag, I'm going to try and show you, to drag from the middle of the palm out to the side. Okay? You can even pull a little bit this way to stretch the palm side of the hand. Okay? Gently release. And now we're going to pay some special attention to the thumb. So that famous headache point in acupuncture and acupressure, it's called the master release point. But I'm just going to pinch between my index finger and middle finger. Find a kind of a dense spot right in the middle, right along that webbing, and hold for 30 to 90 seconds. You can find a few spots if you notice that the tissue is really tight. I found this is good for headaches, for jaw pain. Doesn't necessarily come from the Thai tradition, but I like to pay attention to this spot when I'm working on the hands. Okay. So after you've softened the musculature of the palm and stretched it out, now we're going to drag down each and every finger just like we did with the toes. But instead of using the thumb and the inner knuckle of the index finger, we're going to clamp in between the index finger and the middle finger. And I like to brace my thumb on top of the top knuckle. So it looks a little bit like this. Inner hand grabs the wrist to brace. Start close to the palm. Maybe snap off at the edge. One finger at a time from pinky all the way to thumb. And take your time. Not too rough. Move with the contours of the fingers, the knuckles. All right. And now we'll move on up to the head and neck and face. So hands close to the neck, lean to drag back. Take your time here. You can even turn fingers toward your partner's torso and then just cup the fingers on either side of the spine and drag back. At least 3 times, and then bring pinkies to touch underneath your partner's head. And just let the weight of their head rest here. You can cup the fingers gently where the neck muscles meet the skull. And now broaden the hand so that the thumb is on the other side of the ears, and lean left and right to roll the head between one hand and the other a few times, and then let the head rest in one hand. Use opposite hand, straight arm, hook right at the edge of the shoulder, and lean forward to stretch the side of the neck and shoulder. A few times here. And then use pads of the fingers to make circles up the side of the neck toward the posterior aspect, toward the floor. When you get up to the side of the head, you can use your nails or fingertips to make circles up the side of the head. Hand returns, thumb on the other side of the ear, roll the head into the other hand, do the same thing on the other side, but for time we'll skip that. Slide the hands out and then move thumbs together at the third eye, so above the brow line at the center of the head. Gentle downward pressure toward the floor and then drag slowly out to the sides. And feather off at the hairline. Do that about 3 times. You can either do the same spot or kind of start a little bit higher up and drag across the forehead. Bring pads of 4 fingers, not the thumb, to the temples, temporalis muscle here. And I'm pressing my hands toward the face, so in toward one another. I'm not sliding across the skin really, I'm moving the skin around as I add pressure to these muscles. So a few rounds of circles here. And now let's trace down to the ears and do a little bit of ear pulling. So gentle pinch at the ear lobes. Pull forward toward your partner's torso and then out to the sides like you're opening a book. Second position, kind of like middle of the outer cartilage. Third position at the upper portion of the cartilage. Now bring pads or tips of fingers to the jaw muscle, masseter. And same thing we did at the temporalis. We're going to push fingers in toward one another and then make some circles. This muscle is pretty big. It goes from underneath the cheekbones all the way down to the jawline. So take your time and explore here. The slower you go, the more relaxing it is. You can also find if you find a spot that is pretty dense and you want to just like lock and sink and hang out there, you can. You might feel the muscles melt a little bit underneath your fingertips. And in class, after we did that, we gently traced fingertips along the jawline toward the chin. Gave a gentle squeeze at the chin, so I'm squeezing the chin between my thumb and index finger. And then traced the jawline from next to the ears, just underneath it, in toward the nostrils. Gentle pressure, downward pressure toward the floor, and then hook right where the eyebrows end, in close to the bridge of the nose. You can hook and gentle pressure there. And we're going to end like we started, so drag across the forehead. At least once, and then drag at the hairline or a gentle hair pull. If you pull the hair, then just start very close to the scalp. Trace down toward the top of the head and feather off. So that's a nice way to give an act of service to your partner. Closing with the finer points of feet, hands, and head, neck, and face. So thanks for watching.